You don't just allow it, you defend it. You protect it. Man, Unknown Worlds, y'all are some real bad people. And it's not the fact that you're bad people, that's not the sad part. Because there's bad people everywhere. What makes it sad is you think you guys think you're heroes. You think you're progressive. You think you're woke. You think you're inclusive and representative. You think you are morally superior. You're morally repugnant. But this horse has been kicked. I've covered that post. Let's get into new model for Robin. You guys remember this post? Yes, you do. The very first reply from a gravedigger talking about stereotypical black people looking too black. Large assets, large hips. And then I covered that first page. Page 2 and 3 are basically two people arguing and trolling. And 12 hours ago, I covered this earlier. Vortex, more toxic, racist delirium. He summarized all of this post. Can someone explain to me how is this walking heap of deranged racist toxicity not banned yet? I'm confused too, Vortex, because apparently I looked at Aldwolf's post history. Man, he's got posts going back to 2013 talking the same rhetoric. I don't know how he's been allowed to. I don't get it. Zev Nolly, elaborate. This is woke. What is woke about the game? And of course, if you talk about what is woke, you'll get banned. That's a setup. That's a trap. Her boobs got smaller or maybe more compressed. Laugh out loud. I know it's stupid. I don't really care too much. They did. They made her boobies smaller boobies. Real women do not have big tits. Remember that, guys. You have to have a woman in your game, but they can't be attractive. So you have to make your female as androgynous as possible. Give them a flat chest, give them a little bit of muscle, make them look manly, give them a short haircut, buzz cut, make them aggressive and assertive. Basically, we need women in the game, but when we put the women in the game, we have to make them as masculine as possible. They're a trope. They're a supplement. It's a male character with the tag, but this is a female. Even though they look like a dude, they act like a dude, they think like a dude, they behave like a dude, the story serves them just like they were a dude. So what changed? What was the status quota? I'm not repeating Bunny Kicker, fuck that dude, he's racist too, he's just as bad. Erebus. My question is why you need ham-fisted, shallow characters with specific physical traits to be able to empathize or relate with something. For all your rhetoric, you seem overly preoccupied with surface-level traits. If the writing is actually good, as in believable human personality characteristics, and if you actually possess empathy, you should be able to relate with the cube. The companion cube from Portal comes to mind. The only time I ever stop to think about a character's superficial whatever, especially in a first-person title, is if it is a ham-fisted character. Maybe a lot of the problems lies within that you can't identify with anything beyond the superficial and over the top. Definitely replies 3 hours ago, to be fair, most games either are very much over the top or got silent protagonists, so why is this game in particular getting so much nag with it? I mean, this guy's just gonna. This is his technique. He's going to claim. He's going to strawman everyone's critique of the game. He's going to try to make the critique sound different than what it is. He's going to make it basic. He's going to invalidate the critique, and he's going to be like, I don't see what the problem is. Everyone says this and this, but no one explains why. And he's ignoring the past year's worth of people's activity in the forum where they explain why. And if you do explain why, you risk your post getting removed. And if it's not removed, then it gets ignored. So if more people were to come up and explain to this guy why, what's the problem, why are we nagging, and those posts don't get banned, he'll ignore that. And he'll go on someone else's post and he's like, no one can explain why. He'll spew the same thing and he'll try to get another audience. It's a technique. It's a troll tactic. Know it for what it is. You cannot give this guy an answer that will satisfy him because he's not debating or arguing sincerely. He's being disingenuous. His goal is not to arrive at any conclusion. His goal is to aggravate you. Ooh. Erebus has a saucy and a slow clap award, responding directly to Zefnoli. Well, considering the strong point of the first Subnautica was immersion, being in control of the character near the whole time in isolation, shocking that the sequel following up with a personal plot and endless babbling commentary is complained about. Zefnoli replies, I'm not going to read this all out loud. Wow, this... Okay, so read that paragraph. This isn't sincere arguing. He can't imagine any other option. They had no choice. There was no other way to make the sequel. The devs never intended it to be what we wanted it to be. We're mad because it's not exactly what we wanted. It could be, he even admits it could be written better, but who cares? I got my POC main character, it's all I wanted. You missed the point of Below Zero if you want the same experience as the original. That's not what we're asking for. We want a better experience than the original. And instead, we didn't get a better experience. We didn't get the same experience. Y'all gave us an inferior experience. Did a little pause on my music. Erebus responds again 2 hours ago. It doesn't have to be more, but it's one of the strongest parts of the first. Responding to that. Responding to this part, he says, or they say, all of this is just your own narrow view of things. There are other ways to write it and to handle it. It doesn't even have to be a direct sequel. Sequels can just share themes too, you know. And then responding to this chunk, look, when I bought it, they were advertising a plot about being a scientist investigating the aliens who came before and being stranded after something happened to a space station providing support. It became something way freaking different. And they're talking about the original storyline before it got rewritten. Now, some of that is on me for buying into early access based on liking the first game, but that doesn't magically wipe away how weak it is going from a maximum immersion title to one where the character rambles to themselves every couple steps and a focus on character connections. Let me hit this real quick. It's more like a it's more like a mod or fan-made game, which is kind of like what we got. I got to it. Below Zero feels like a fan-made mod game. The story feels written by a fan, like how a fan would imagine, like, hey guys, here's my new idea here's what the sequel could be like, and you guys are like, oh man, perfect. Hire them. It's more like a mod or fan-made game someone made with the setting from a different stance than a follow-up to the great elements of the first one. And responding to this part, maybe the devs missed why the first one was liked so much. Hey guys, Unknown Worlds, I think y'all missed why we like Subnautica so much. Bunny Kicker's got a reply that I don't care to give any weight to, doing a refresh, and there's no more for this. Now, I got more topics that I want to cover and go into, and these are involving story elements. I wanted to cover this series of videos because it covers more about the Seatruck, and then it follows up on previous topics that I recorded videos about earlier today. I recorded the new comments. I'm up to date. I'm up to speed. Switching to a new series.